Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs need to replace Broderick Jones at left tackle, but the way I see it, I expect Georgia to have one of the best offensive lines in college football, maybe the best offensive line in college football once again in 2023. That's what this video is about. I'll be breaking down how I see it lining up for that first game in September, and it's going to look a lot like last year. Obviously, Cedric Van Pran coming back at center is absolutely huge. You could make the argument he was the best center in college football last year. It looks like he'll be the best center again in college football this upcoming season. Coming back for fourth year was gigantic. Just keeps that continuity on the offensive line. What that was dominant last year. They bullied everybody except Missouri, really. That offensive line was fantastic, and they should be elite once again. But at left tackle, you got two options, right? Right now, from what Ryan saw at practice the other day, Ernest Green, the second-year player, 6'4", 330 out of California, looks to be the next guy up at left tackle. You could put Amarius Mims over there, who played really, really well at right tackle, 6'7", 330. He could possibly move over to left tackle. I think this time next year, we're going to be talking about him being a top 10 pick in next year's NFL draft. But you keep him at right tackle, you're just fine. You've got a dominant wall there, just a freak of a dude at right tackle who was really, really good against Ohio State. You go back and watch him, especially that Kendall Milton touchdown run, and just really throughout the game, he more than held his own. He's a giant. He's technically sound. He does everything right. And I think NFL teams would be drooling over him. But if Ernest Green is ready to play and can step in there and start at left tackle in year two, you're looking at the next great left tackle as well, who's probably going to be a first rounder. Georgia looks like offensive line university right now, the way they just continue to pump out, not only tackles, but guards as well. And we've seen, fantastic center play, from Georgia guys going on. David Andrews, Ben Jones. They weren't in the Kirby Smart era, but this program has definitely pumped out some offensive linemen, and Cedric Van Pran could be, I don't know about first round pick next year because you usually don't see too many centers, but he could be the first center off the board. Regardless, it looks like you could have Ernest Green left tackle, Xavier Truss, who started 14 games, it looks like, left guard last year. He's 6'7", 320. You've got just a giant right there at left guard. Cedric Van Pran at center. Tate Ratledge, former five-star, back at right guard again. He's a multi-year starter, 6'6", 315. And then you've got Amarius Mims. So this is going to be an absolute wall that they're putting out there again. So you're really just replacing the left tackle because Amarius played a ton of right tackle, so it's not like he's new, right? Warren McClendon was a starter, but, Amarius he's your guy there, right? He's played enough to be considered kind of a starter. So, obviously no Devin Willock either, but there's still a lot of depth. Austin Blask is a guy, from the Savannah area, former 3-star, but he's as versatile as it gets. He might be your backup left tackle. He's a backup center in emergency situations. He could play guard too. He's a guy who I think could be starting on multiple SEC teams right now, but instead he's, waiting patiently, coming in. And listen, when that number 2 unit comes in, you saw it against TCU, they are still manhandling guys. Dylan Fairchild, this will be his 3rd year on the team. Love everything, what he brings to the table. Might be the top 3, top 5 strongest players on the team. He's probably another guy starting at a place like Auburn or South Carolina or Florida. A lot of other programs would love guys like Austin Blasky, and Dylan Fairchild and Jared Wilson, who everyone was raving about, when he came to Georgia as an interior lineman. He hasn't, scratched the starting unit either. It's because these guys are really good. Xavier Truss has been in the program a while now. He knows what he's doing. He gets it. He competes. He's got better and better as he's, his career's gone on. We know what Cedric Van Pran brings at center. Tate Ratledge, part of that 2020 class. This is his 4th year. Was the starter in 21. Obviously, he got hurt against Clemson at the beginning of the year, missed the entire year, but he was their guy last year, and he played better and better. These guys are not only big, but they're athletic too. They can play in space, and it's easy to want to get some screen passes out there when these offensive linemen move so well in space and are looking for linebackers to just bury into the ground and completely eliminate from the play. They play well together. You have to have consistency if you want a great offensive line. They had it last year, and I mean, replacing Broderick Jones is going to be tough, right? He's going to be a first round pick, and he was very, very good last year. You could not have asked for much more out of Broderick Jones. But in left tackles, crazy important, right? It's one of the most important positions on the team. But if that's all you're replacing, Xavier Truss knows how to play beside Cedric Van Pran. He's done it. Tate Ratledge knows his job, understands his role at right guard. And it's hard for me to imagine another offensive line in the country. Now, I still need to do, a little bit more research, right? But, point to another offensive line that has this much talent, returning talent, experience, and depth. Alabama's offensive line is going to be very good as well. They're full of 5-stars, guys who are also massive and can play, and guys who all had offers from Georgia, basically. I think their offensive line is what I think it's going to be. So they've got plenty of guys. Tyler Booker's really coming to his own. He's a guy that Georgia wanted at guard. They've got a massive offensive line too, but it's going to be Georgia and Alabama, I think, as a team. National championship is going to come down to those two. Their offensive line is very, very good as well. So that you're probably talking about the best two offensive lines in college football. But if Ernest Green can come in and solidify left tackle year 2 and play well there, you've got something really special. But at the end of the day, if he's not ready, you could still put Amarius over there, and I think he'd be great either way. But you know what he can do at right tackle, and he could be the best right tackle in college football. So ideally, I think the staff really wants Ernest to come out. Everyone's talking about him. Everyone was talking about him before he got to Athens. Everyone's saying he's been turning heads. Everyone's saying, Matt, this is the guy. He is really, really impressive, and looks like Georgia's next elite tackle after Amarius Mims goes. So money year for Amarius Mims. And again, they play right tackle in the NFL too. So if he does stay there, he still has the potential to dominate and be a top 15, top 10 pick. He looks the part, right? He could be a WWE wrestler right now with that type of body and that frame he has. But Tate Ratledge, I think, is going to play in the next level as well. Cedric Van Pran will play at the next level. He's a starting center in the NFL one day. There's no doubt about it. Xavier Truss, just consistent, reliable, knows his job, great in the run game. You could run behind this left side and the right side with ease. So, we talk a lot about the running backs. Is Kendall Milton going to have a breakout year? Dajan Edwards, we're going to see more out of him out of the backfield. Branson Robinson, no matter who's running the ball, they're running behind these guys. They're going to do just fine. There's going to be a lot of holes to run through. If you're Carson Beck, you have to love this group returning. There's just so much experience, big game experience. And again, the consistency. These guys know how to play together. They gel. They do play well together, and they could run. You can run just anything in the playbook, and these offensive linemen know what they're doing, and they are going to what's the word I'm looking for? They're I'm blanking on the word. Not excel, but they're going to execute. They're going to execute the plan, whether it's a screen, in the red zone, goal line situations. These guys are going to move you backwards, and they're going to be very good. So just wanted to talk about the offensive line real quick. Spring practice is here. We're going to get a little bit, more of a look from these guys, but they're going to rotate. You want Ernest to get some reps at guard and so on and so on. These guys are mixing and matching. You want to have the best 5 out there, but you want to have a versatile 5. If someone goes down, you could take someone who maybe more experienced as a guard or has practiced there, know how to play tackle, right? So again, I love the depth that they have, but the versatility, the experience, the overall talent, it's going to be tough to find a better offensive line in college football than Georgia's. Maybe it's Alabama, but that's going to be tough, especially if Ernest Green is the guy. If he comes out and plays as well as everyone expects him to, everyone thinks that he can, they're going to dominate again. And you're not going to beat this group over and over for 60 minutes. You're just not going to do it. So that's why, if you want to win championships, you have to have elite defenders, elite pass rushers who can beat 5-star guys like Amarius Mims and Broderick Jones. And Ernest Green wasn't a 5-star, but he was, I think, a consensus top 50, 60 player in the country, borderline 5-star. There's a reason they wanted to get him out of California badly, and they did. They went out and got him, and he is going to play a lot for this team. Could be left tackle. We'll see if he can, step up and earn that job so they can keep Amarius at right tackle, where maybe that's his best football is. I think that's where he's going to play in the NFL too. But that right side is going to be fun to run through if you are a Georgia running back this fall. Either way, without a doubt, one of the best offensive lines in college football, arguably the best offensive line in college football. I'm excited to watch them. What do you think? Drop a comment in the section below. Head over to Dog Post. We've got a lot going on, a lot of recruiting stuff, a lot of spring practice notes. Dog Post is the place to be right now. So go and check us out on the website.